Alice clearly had 7 handsome fiancé candidates, but she didn't choose a single one. Just when Benjamin thought she would definitely get in his car, who would have thought Alice completely ignored him and instead turned and got into the car of Anthony, the son of the richest man. It wasn't until then that the 7 finally realized they had completely lost Alice. However, all of this was their own fault. It turned out that 20 years ago, her father adopted 7 boys and told Alice to choose one as her fiancé. Alice set her eyes on Benjamin at first sight. In 20 years, Alice confessed to Benjamin countless times, but she was always rejected by him. Alice thought Benjamin was naturally cold, until 3 days ago, Alice unexpectedly saw Benjamin kneeling to Jessica and swearing, saying that he agreed to marry Alice, only to repay her father's kindness for raising him, that in his heart there was only Jessica. The other 6 also knelt and swore one after another. At that moment, Alice finally saw Benjamin clearly. She immediately went to her father and said she wanted to marry Anthony. Her father advised her to think again, because Anthony was already paralyzed. But Alice said, rather than choose someone she didn't love, it was better to choose someone who could help her. After her father learned what the 7 had done, he agreed to Alice's decision and said that on Alice's birthday, he would throw all 7 out. Seeing her father support her, Alice happily took his arm and prepared to leave, but they ran right into the 7. Her father looked at them with disgust, then left first. After her father left, Jessica suddenly appeared and asked Alice to take her to horseback riding class. Alice impatiently shook her off, but Jessica deliberately fell down. The 7 immediately surrounded her and even knocked Alice to the ground. The 7 all scolded Alice for being vicious. Benjamin even ordered her to immediately apologize to Jessica, or else he would not marry Alice. Unexpectedly, Alice said she would never choose Benjamin as her husband. After saying that, she prepared to leave, but Benjamin confidently thought Alice was just saying that out of anger. So he grabbed Alice and said, as long as Alice didn't make things hard for Jessica, he would marry Alice. Alice couldn't be bothered with Benjamin. She directly shook off his hand and turned to leave. The next day, Alice came to horseback riding class. She actually saw Jessica there too. Jessica arrogantly said that Benjamin brought her there. Alice completely ignored her provocation and went riding on her own. But when Alice saw that Benjamin was kneeling to help Jessica off the horse, she could no longer control her emotions. It turned out her father had once said, a man could only kneel to the woman he loved, never to anyone else. When Alice dismounted, the stirrup strap suddenly broke. She fell and fainted right away. When Alice woke up again, she found herself lying on a hospital bed, and Benjamin and Jessica were at her bedside. Showing off their affection, Alice angrily told them to get out, but Benjamin stayed put. Alice asked him why he didn't go after Jessica. Benjamin didn't answer. After patiently feeding Alice her medicine, he gave Alice a candy and apologized for what happened today. Alice was momentarily moved, but that feeling only lasted a moment because she accidentally found out that it was Benjamin who cut the stirrup strap, and the reason he did it was to vent Jessica's anger. That day, Alice came to an auction. She saw the bracelet her mother once wore. She swore she must win it, but Jessica deliberately raised the bid. Benjamin, to please Jessica, even bid $100 million. Seeing this, Alice directly bid $1 billion. Benjamin had no choice but to give up. But when Alice was about to pay, her bank card couldn't pay a single cent. It turned out Benjamin was behind it. Then he bought the bracelet and gave it to Jessica. But Jessica deliberately smashed the bracelet. Alice shoved Jessica aside, holding the broken pieces and crying. Benjamin angrily questioned Alice. Asking what she wanted to do, Alice told Benjamin the bracelet was her mother's keepsake. Benjamin actually carried Jessica away, completely ignoring the heartbroken Alice. The next day, Benjamin brought a gift to apologize to Alice. When he saw Alice wouldn't open the door, he said he could marry Alice. But Alice had to accept Jessica because Jessica once saved his life. After saying that, he threw the gift on the ground and left. But the one who had saved Benjamin back then was Alice. She hurriedly opened the door, but Benjamin had already left. So Alice picked up the gift from the ground and saw that the box was marked, "Free gift." Alice was completely disappointed in Benjamin. She disdainfully threw the gift back on the ground. At that moment, Anthony's butler came to Alice. It turned out that after Anthony heard about the auction, he hired a top restorer and had the bracelet repaired. After putting on the bracelet, Alice said, at tomorrow's birthday banquet, she would announce her marriage to Anthony. On the day of the birthday banquet, the big screen suddenly played a video of Alice confessing love to Benjamin. Her father furiously smashed the computer. Alice directly slapped Benjamin because she was certain Benjamin did all this. Benjamin said it wasn't him to prove his innocence. He immediately pulled out a computer to investigate. But when Benjamin finally pulled up the result, he glanced at Jessica, then admitted it was him. Alice figured it out. She questioned Jessica why she did it, but the seven immediately shielded Jessica and said none of them would marry Alice. Just then, Anthony pushed the door open and entered, and said, "If you won't marry her, I will."